Second champion select of the lane. Let's go! Let's see what happens with Vanir. They need to adapt. I'm really hyped.
Did you like us like beating down Vanir like Dusty did in game 1 during the break?
Why?
That? We've got to have fun somehow.
We need to
right?
call the cops! This is illegal!
Okay, I'll tell you one thing that's not going to be happening. Viking is not going to be getting no Hecarims in his hands. I'm pretty sure about that.
You think that is the
his
deal?
Rek'Sai
like
and his Hecarim are extremely dangerous, and even though Rek'Sai is not as playable right now, it's a very niche champion, and he can figure out ways to implement it in the team. I think Hecarim fits a bunch of compositions, so either Vanir is going to first pick that for Noodle and try to get him to be a little bit more impactful, or they're just not going to give it to Viking and ban it out straight out bat.
I love best of fives. I love best of fives. Where else? You wouldn't see a Caitlyn ban in a best of 1. You wouldn't see that. Now, this is showing the adaptation. There is something to be said about, let's just ban what was powerful in that last game. We were kind of talking about blue side being really...
Excel by game 4, and they banned 3 MC champions. Unreal, I'm just saying.
But now, because we knew that blue side was going to be very important to ban away some priority champions and then pick one of the power champions. Dusty said, look, as much as we were the ones with the Hecarim, we're still showing that respect to Noodle, and I think that's very worthwhile. And we say, let's not give them the Hecarim, let's not give them the power pick. We saw what we could do with that first pick, but now we're going to see potentially the handshake between AD carries, but either Zeri or Aphelios is going to be left up.
But if there's Zeri and Aphelios, Kevo loves his champions. We mentioned that he is an Ezreal, Lucian, Zeri player. He loves these high mobility champs. They're going to leave him with the Aphelios unless he wants to go towards something like the Lucian arm in the bot lane, like the Ezreal that he likes to play, and possibly we could see what you missed last game, which is Quickset roaming the map.
But we've seen the Zeri band away, so Aphelios is the last of like the S-tier AD carries that are still on the table.
Unless you're called Zamulek.
Unless you're Zamulek and you really want to, you really like Varus. Varus is just your thing. But now you're probably going to see something like that Shinzao locked in, unless Viking wants to go. I mean, obviously J4 was another big pick for these junglers who love to impact the early game as well. But Xin Zhao's on the table, it's a good takeaway. Potentially, you can go towards something like the Rel as well, though, because FGD got that band away from them. And the thing about someone like Aphelios is that he wants to be fighting you and like rooting you down with the Graviton. Rel stops you in your tracks.
I would just love to see a Volibear, honestly, from Viking. Volibear together with Rel is going to be extremely annoying to play if you are the Aphelios. Also, remember a lot of the globals we've seen, right? The Gangplank, the Shen that we saw coming out of Cactus, things that can really impact the map from the other side of the map.
So do you pick support now, and do you go for an Alistar? Even
well, one of the problems with that last champ select, as we were saying, it was obviously the Caitlyn Lux, and then you left the support pick yourself until later. That's an extreme example. Support counter pick is really, really important in a lot of these matchups. The problem is you don't know what the AD carry. I mean, you don't know whether it's going to be a Tristana Rel. It could be something like that. Samira's come back in places like the LCK game. He usually played a game of it amongst other people. But actually saying with that, I actually quite like Alistar here because Alistar versus Rel as a support matchup is actually mainly about just denying the other support rather than actually landing your combo yourself. But Alistar stops stuff like the Samira and the Tristana having really high value because they jump onto you, you knock them up, you punt them away if you really want to at that point. It stops like the best outcome from your bot lane and having true counter pick, but I think this is a fairly safe blind pick and stops you getting banned out as hard.
I would just really like to see Tam Kent here. I think with the way that Vanir has been struggling, making sure that one of your carries is 100% safe through these flanks, because FTG has been finding a lot of flanks. Viking is great at finding flanks, and they both have some really easy champions to jump into the backline. If that gets locked in right here as well, that is a lot of backline access. I feel like a Tam Kent would be absolute king, not only in lane, but later on when it comes to roaming for Quickset, when it comes to keeping safe both his carries at this point.
That way you can deny the Rel a little bit, but you have 3 members that goes into the backline, and Alistar can just
the Akali as well.
You can pulverize all of them, so it kind of fits a little bit, even though it's not meta.
What I will say is that if you have good engage options for Vanir, I mean, you already have the Alistar, right? That very much helps. But if Alistar doesn't have to use the combo offensively, you just sit on top of your Aphelios, Akali jumps to you, smack, you're out of the fight, you're just gone. You get CC'd into death, especially when you have the Gravitum too. It's very dangerous to be diving alone. So now Dusty have this combo of a number of low-range champions that want to be getting in on top of the Alistar. They need to make sure they space out their engage either against the Alistar combo or do it within a time span where they can just pile on a dogpile the target they want to get onto, otherwise the Alistar is going to get insane value here.
Can I be CEO of Based for just a second here?
Well, consider your application. What is? You made it through to the interview stage. What's your plan?
Last season, when Volibear was literally played every single game, Volibear loves to build HP, and his HP numbers are pretty high as well. What is great, and what was played a lot versus Volibear, and hear me out because it's not necessarily the meta of the meta of the meta right now, is set. They dive all into your team, you grab the highest HP target and you slam it back down. Now, obviously, Set is not great in a lot of the matchups and he does suffer, but
I don't think you want to blind pick.
But I mean, exactly. But I mean, you had Gangplank last time and that didn't go well either, so you might as well just take one for the team,
I'm sold. I'm a Pantheon Set Kled, so I'm sold on this. Treble is 100% right. Yeah,
I was wondering when this bot lane combo was coming back, for like most of this season after Tristana got her level 1 HP buffs and stuff like that, you hit level 2, level 3, you are so ready to fight, you jump in. It is onto that Alistar. Now, as we were kind of talking about, one of the reasons the Alistar was locked in is because you see the Samira, you see the Tristana, you're like, look, let's just deny them jumping in. If Tristana ever gets to complete her jump with the satchel and everything, it's a lot of damage. It's a hell of a lot of damage, which kind of helps you deny that on one front. Vanir do have to blind pick their top lane though, and they've chosen that Gwen as a flex. Might go towards the jungle, slash can be the Gnar, which now Dusty have the task of unseating.
This is textbook Vanir. We're peeling backwards, we're moving backwards, we're gonna let you pull the trigger, and a lot of the teams that are sitting on the top of the table, if you ask them what they prefer doing, is like, look, if we are the better team on paper, we would rather scale into the late game and allow our opponents to make mistakes, and then we insta-punish them. I feel like this draft is more bread and butter for Vanir than the previous one. This is we fully peel backwards. The Alistar is going to sit the Aphelios the entire game together with the Rise. The second they dive in, Gnar is going to do his job in the front line. Gwen is going to go snip to whoever dives in. I like this a lot. Does they have the trigger in their hands? If the trigger doesn't go down well, though, Vanir will punish.
I mean, and this time you do at least have a pushing mid lane. Rise very much helps with that. They didn't have any of those pushing lanes early on into that last game. They have more of a platform to play around Vanir in the early game.
But not only that, you picked a Tristana versus an Alistar. You were talking about this. You have two members diving into the back, but with Alistar, you can pulverize one and yeet the other one away. You decide the one that you just push away and focus on the Tristana.
Yeet King.
It is the yeet. You wapachang and take him away. So that is more than a wapachang and take him away. That is a good reply to the bot side. This is Vanir's chance to come back into the series. I know you're confused.
I've heard a lot of cow noises. Never that.
Wapachang?
Wait, you haven't been seeing the right cows, man.
Exactly.
In Portugal?
In Portugal, we do that all the time. I don't know. With that in mind, it's time to send it to the game. Hiprain and Jamada are waiting. It's going to be a good one. Take it away, boys.
Move out the way. It's time for us to take over this game. There's the cow noise. Hello and welcome to the caster desk. I was curious where I was going to go with that, but here we are.
So was I. I was very curious where you was going to go with that, but you caught it well.
I did.
I'm proud of you.
I didn't drop it. I've never heard a cow go cappuccino or whatever.
I'm not sure. I like the head movement on Archer as well.
He's got some terrific swish with his hair. But we are into game for our second of the series. It was a slaughter to start us out. I can't even underestimate that. I can't overstate how hard Dusty won game one. Vanir, they need to forget that game. We're just playing 4 games of League of Legends now. Let's figure out a game plan, and I think this draft is better suited for them.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think, like you say, agree. I'm kind of happy for Vanir that game happened in game 1 as opposed to something like game 3, game 4.
Oh, they're doing it again.
Venta this time, rocket jump over, slow down on Kevo.
Yeah, getting a little bit, but
that's a flash.
That is a flash. Beautiful. Okay, that's really nice for them in lane. Obviously, Alistar, very famously has a pretty awful level 1. Now no flash on their support, but there is an invade on the other side from Vanir, so they will get some information on Viking, on his rotations, to see exactly what's going on with that. And that actually is something we want for Noodle, because Noodle wants to try maybe catch Viking off guard like he did in the last game. This time, it's not so important that he goes bot lane early.
No, it's not. And unlike game 1 as well, Vanir, they didn't really get too much information out of when Dusty went for one of these invades.
Yeah.
I think for Viking, though, starting on the top side, most likely, he's not going to care if he's on vision. Now that Kevo doesn't have flash, I don't think he's going to be too fast. FGG set up with Venza. It's a lot to handle, and there's no cleanse on Kevo. It's exhaust because they want to play for the 2v2. You get hit by anything, you just die. So let's see how Kevo and Quickstep want to play out the lane, of course. A lot of talk, like you said as well. Level 1, it's just not really there for Alistar. It's all about level 2 onwards. FGG's engages can be denied, but I think for the immediate future, priority should be in Dusty's favor.
Well, FGG now got the remount, so does have that to work with onto Quicksef or Kevo. I feel punishing him may be fairly nice. They have obviously got the exhaust and ignite for Vanir. It's a cleanse on Venza, so you have to kind of keep that a little bit in mind, but they are lacking technically in that kind of combat area. Talk to me about his top lane. The Gnar versus the Aatrox. How does this lane go?
Yeah, so this is a matchup I feel like it depends on who you ask. Like, it's one of these lanes where, in theory, Nile should take priority in the early stages because of the range versus melee. But then from there, it's all about sort of Aatrox's sort of spikes in lane where it's like level 5, level 6, 2 big ones, 3 points in Q. Obviously, you get level 6, you get your ultimate. And then trading / all-ins become possible, but again, it's more on Nile, really, how he lanes and how he trades.
Yeah.
More than anything, because he's going to be the one that gets to pick and choose more or less how these fights occur. As unfortunately, Zahira just missed all 3 of those creeps. I don't think he's going to be too happy about that. But this is a lane where, like Nymera highlighted, there should be pretty much consistent priority for Vanir, and more specifically Noodle to actually work off of. I was relatively surprised when Barkton took this Akali, knowing he'll be taking it to Zahira's right, simply because historically it's a matchup that, for lack of a better way of saying it really, it sucks for the Akali. You can always just bounce the spell fluxes into the minion wave. If Akali's shrouded in the middle of it, you can always lock it down with the Rune Prison. It's very difficult as...
Noodle's got that ghost, so can actually catch up fairly quickly. Looking for it, Quicksef's got the flash, the Polv. Venza and FGG are aware of him, though. They've also got their jungler coming down, so this might be a little bit of a bait, although Viking's been seen. They're jumping in. Noodle's going to have to go away. There's the flash. Remember, nothing on Kevo. Kevo's flashing out. Venza jumps out with a rocket jump, just about gets away. Viking comes in to save the day. Noodle seeing if he can find more, but not going to be able to do so. Dusty find first blood.
I understand the thought process here for Vanir, as Barklin's going to eat a real nasty trade. 2 more autos in it. I think Barklin would have dropped there, but we'll just take the reset and probably have to TP it back into lane. You have to be the ones that respond to Dusty being proactive, because as soon as that combination is down from Quicksef, who the hell stops FGG from doing what he just did to Kevo? The answer is nobody, and that's why we've seen him just die in that 3v3.
They're desperately trying to shove this wave in.
Yeah.
They're actually bringing Zahira down as well. He's spotted out. Viking actually didn't reset. This is a 4-man into the bottom side. Elif has teleport, so can actually get underneath this tower if he needs to. They're charging in. They're jumping on. Quicksef popped up, popped by the bomb. Venza finds the kill. So Zahira's taking tower shot after tower shot. And Noodle's on the wrong side of the map, but he might be able to get a little bit more damage. The snip, the haircuts are there. But FGG will run him down as Backland's making his way over. Can he find the punish? Kevo still not got that flash. Does have the exhaust. They get the shuriken flip back, buying some space. The lockdown. In comes Venza. Kevo is going down yet again. No, it's so close. The overload won't do the damage. Dusty are just clapping Vanir underneath their tower.
Oh, and it's Vanir that engaged this dive, Jake. They're the ones that wanted it. And Dusty turned it around. Viking, great presence of mind, looks at the mid lane state and says, okay, Zahira has a window to come down and roam to the bottom side, also aided by the Skullcrab vision. And the dive just doesn't go right. Quicksef takes 1 too many tower shots, gets CC. Zahira eats 2 stacked up tower shots and has to retreat. And Noodle is just unfortunately on the opposite side, does manage to trade in Viking for his life at the very least. And FGG does kind of steal away the kill from Venza. But at the end of the day, still happy with the results of the dive. And Kevo, with the, what is it, Attract Repel? I think that
yes, it is Attract Repel.
Able to give FGG the stun, and whilst it is very close and nearly traded out, Venza has the health bar to walk into Kevo's face. And now...
Look at that base as well. Double Longsword and Berserker's Greaves off that. 2-0-2. Got the very slight farm lead, but it will grow once he gets back to the wave. And now Noodle. It was all about Noodle coming into this game. That was the person who was highlighted to me. 20% damage share for his team. And just having to play very careful because FGG and Viking are just roaming around his jungle.
Yeah.
Is there more action breaking out here?
Potentially, but I think they should be able to just walk away from one another though. Noodle face checking. It's FGG. Gonna just hex flash over the wall. And much like game 1, Dusty find themselves with a fairly sizable at 6 minutes lead. Not quite as big as game 1, but still.
Yeah. Still terrifying.
You want to be in. And fortunately, if there's one thing that will work out for the Vanir bot lane, Tristana is a champion that can't really freeze waves too well. Of course, the explosive charge does kill more creeps than you'd maybe like per auto attack. But Viking, he's here for a repeat gang.
Oh, this bot lane are just having the worst series. The Roam Warp's coming in, but Quickstep will go down. Venza grabs himself a cheeseburger and he's out.
He is out indeed. Venza might be able to have an early dinner if the series goes this way.
Just see a player like their Uber Eats is on the way.
They've got a takeaway they're waiting for. As Barkland going to be able to take down that control ward. Dusty probably eyeing up this dragon relatively soon. Try and get the objective snowball going as soon as possible. And there you go, Viking. We'll just get this one slide up. Now, Noodle's in the air and does have level 6, but no smite available. About 20 seconds or so left on that cooldown. Could look to interrupt this as Viking. He's taking a lot of damage, but will heal up off smite. But actually, Noodle has the upgraded smite, so if they can buy time here, it's not too terrible.
He's got 6 as well. Viking does this, so the needlework doing a lot of work, slowing them down.
All right.
Vanir going to pick up this first dragon. This is actually 2 games they've secured first dragon in this series. But gold lead is a little bit scary, and where that gold is a little bit scary. Ven's on the Tristana, got himself a 1,100 gold lead over Kevo. Gonna go back to base here. I think that was like 1,100 gold he just spent, so
something like
I believe that's
so
probably
a Noon
Noon Quiver and maybe a little bit else. Oh no, he got pickaxe.
All right, that makes sense too. Highest raw stats I think he could have gotten, considering if you think about like this, he's already got the Halo Blade. He just wants extra AD for the trades.
Oh yeah, I agree.
He jumps in. I think it's a good choice.
Top lane's been a little bit quiet.
Yeah.
Lily probably saying, guys, what's happening down there? The true top lane experience.
It really is the top lane experience, especially as Gangplank players. I think we experience this the most, don't we?
Well, I'm a GP mid, you know that.
Yeah.
I'm a bit different.
You're a bit different. You are. But back on this game, I think obviously the next focus is going to be the Herald. And as we were just highlighting the top lane very briefly, I think the top lane wave states aren't really going to matter. It's going to be about who gets first move from bottom lane. And right now, that's always going to be Venza and FGG. As 2v2 is looking to brew here.
Yeah, they are looking jumping onto him. Elif flashes away. Nilly gets Vanir back onto 2.
Oh, no.
Stormbringer thrown down, but Nilly will pay the ultimate price. Can Noodle make this work? I do not think he can. Top lane experience ended up being the bot lane experience. Everybody collapses in, and 2 people fall.
Oh, it's just not working out. Anything Vanir want to do, Dusty just throw it back in their face immediately. And it's just probably getting to a point where for Vanir, this might just feel frustrating. As it starts off not too bad. Alif able to pop the World Ender and get almost far enough away to get away from the Gnar. But the issue is when Nile goes in for that Gnar, he's sat underneath tower, eats 2 tower shots, too much damage to tank up. Doesn't have the sustain that Alif does when he hits the abilities. And Noodle, unfortunately, just a victim of a play that doesn't quite go their way execution-wise.
No, completely bit them in the bum there. And that's now going to be a Rift Herald. I believe the 3rd one Dusty have picked up in the last 2 games. In the pocket of Viking. We'll see where they decide to put that down. Probably bot lane.
If you had to guess. And
I feel like just get Venza fed.
he's already fed, so get him more fed.
Get him fedder.
Get him fedder.
He's in one of those, like, eat as much as you can in such a short period of time challenges, and you get your money off. Like, eat the big burger in half an hour.
Well, normally those places only operate in the morning, so if he's lucky, he might still be able to get to one in the evening if we continue this way. But yeah, I agree. I think Herald, probably the bot lane. You want to try and break the tower. Venza, FGG, I think at a moment's notice, really, can start to chunk out the tower to a point where they can just execute with the Herald. Or they might just go for a dive.
It's a volley bear. He can turn the tower off.
Yeah.
Ultimate actually came out from Kevo there, but
Not going to matter.
it's not going to matter at all. Quickstep may look for something. He has got Sahira hovering with the ultimate ready.
So if there is one positive thing, albeit Barkland can always respond with the teleport, Sahira should always have first move from the mid lane down to these plays. So it can dissuade Viking from getting a little bit too aggressive with this Rift Herald on the bottom side. The issue is, I'm not sure he cares.
No, I don't think he does at all.
Sahira will just reset in Fog, and this could, you know, kind of create a false sense of pressure from Dusty. As you can see, the ward comes over the ward just maybe to cover maybe a rotation. I'm pretty sure somebody from Vanir saw that. And the patrol will come in just to clear that away.
Oh, it doesn't mean Noodle will be unspotted as he weaves his way over, as long as he doesn't go through the river directly. Has got that ghost again available. Viking Got a nice little flank off here.
Yeah.
See what he's actually going to do with it, whether or not this is just him scouting or if he's actually looking for a very long gank.
It's a corridor of fog at the end of the day. I mean, he's not been spotted on any vision. Barkland, the exact same, just teleported back to lane. And if something does kick off...
Yeah, they are looking for FGG. FGG actually gets bopped away. And remember, they can turn the tower off. They have the volley bear. Viking just going to clear out this vision. The tower will stand, though. Sorry, the Rift Herald.
Yeah, I mean, this is a lot of time being bought. Nile, Aelif trading here. I mean, Wellbender can get popped. Ooh.
Does get popped, but he finds the knock-up with the Darkened Blade. In comes the Realm Warp, those hero flashes, locks him in with the Rune Prison. Sustained from Aelif.
Oh.
Almost got that one.
If
the Sahira gets it.
If that second Darkened Blade went off.
That was it.
That was probably a dead mini-nart.
Oh no.
And a reset as here you go, the dive finally happens.
Tower's turned off. Venza's bobbed back and he secures the kill. Quickstep will lock him under the tower, but FGG is the one tanking. Another slow, another reset, and Venza gets a double.
Noodle.
In comes Noodle though. Venza needs to make his way out. I don't know if he can get it though. The needlework's there. The reposition from Venza as FGG on a killing spree. Teleport by Nilly.
Oh, Nilly, what are you doing here?
He's about to gnaw out though. This could be the hero play. Nilly comes in. Can he get it? Can he find the opportunity? Gets the boulder onto Viking. Viking slowed. In comes the shield. Another boulder is going to connect. Nearly didn't get the Gnar in time. Backline zoning them away. FGG.
Oh, they can turn.
FGG is going to get turned around. He's just about to go down, but he survives. Sahira gets a massive amount of damage. Backline with the flash. Oh my lord, Dusty. They can't keep getting away with this.
Dusty on these tower dives, man. They just can't die.
They don't look dusty. They look polished. They look clean with these dives.
Very, very well oiled. And now Aelif on the top side, he's getting plays to himself as well. So, I mean, the only bad thing to come from this for Dusty is they didn't get to drop the Rift Herald anywhere. That's about it. After that,
I think Elif's going to take tower.
He's going to take the value, the base value at the very least, with the Herald. And, I mean, yeah, I don't think anyone's going to be able to stop that Herald charge anyway. So they're going to get the tower in the delayed play. Vanir, if there's any silver lining at all, they have 2 dragons. Will they be strong enough to contest it? I don't know. This dive was as crisp as you could have really asked for. So many tools. I mean, just gravity well, turn off
FGG tanks
the
it
tower,
so
FGG
long
tower.
as well.
Yeah, it's just a really well executed dive, and Noodle just looking for scraps. There's just nothing he can really.
If there was a flash here on Nilly, this could have been the hero play.
I think he just needed ultimate, to be honest with you, and this teleport makes a little more sense, all in all. But I mean, it does stop the entire tower getting dropped.
I didn't realize he missed his ult.
Who?
Nilly. It's on cooldown. He missed his ult in that.
I don't think he did. I think it was off cooldown from the top side play.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, Barkland, great job as well. Flash away just to ensure that he doesn't get any more follow-up damage after taking down Sahira. And Venza, now that the plates have come off, will just take this tower happily either way. And what a performance from Dusty.
This is absolutely incredible stuff from them. Tower picked up for Venza. That is the first of the game. Oh, sorry, second. They took top lane, obviously, with the Rift Tower. Second tower of the game. Over to Dusty, all in the pocket of Venza. Can we have a quick look at the gold, please?
Oh,
where we are?
That's...
Oh, Kevo is... I would love to know the total amount of gold he's been down in the last 2 games, because that's probably bigger than some teams just lose with.
I will say that it's probably a stat we can ask for, because we can get the match history, I think. But
we'll try and find out about that.
We'll try and find out about it, maybe. Either way, it's going to be close to 5 digits, given the pacing of this. As a top lane, Nile is forced to flash away from a potential gank on the side lane 15 minutes in. Map's going to open up a little bit now with those side lane towers being down, and this is where maybe the pace can slow down for Dusty unless they find more picks.
Oh, Nilly, Noodle, sorry, they find the knock up onto 2 members. That's actually the Stormbringer thrown down by Viking. Elif tanking up for the moment. He's just about able to survive. Gets another knock up, more Dark and Blade. Elif finds the kill, and now Kevo will pay the price. Elif gets himself a double kill, looking for the triple, but it's going to get taken away. The Everfrost will do diddly squat for you, Sahira. Everybody is chasing him down. Can he find these bounces? I don't think he can. He has no tower. He's going to look for Elif, but Elif's going to find him. The sustain is too big. Gets another lockdown with the Rune Prison, but these overloads are missing. Sahira's getting the bounce, getting the dump around. Can he get the damage? I don't think so. A polar bear will take him down.
Level 11 Aatrox with World Ender healing with no anti-heal. It's so disgusting, and honestly, Vanir, they almost get the damage in. I think it's auto Gore Drinker, heal, the Ignite drops off as that second Darken Blade comes in, and 542 on the third Q there onto Kevo. And the collapse as well, it just comes in faster from Dusty. Nothing else to really say. Vanir just weren't able to find the initial picks and have that momentum swing in their favor. And Alif almost goes down to the damage. Misses out on the Gore Drinker healing, but fortunately has the backup in Viking and FGG to ensure that nobody dies again via a Dusty skirmish.
Dusty, they just came to play. I thought this, I genuinely believed this was going to be a 5-game series.
So did I.
And I mean, there's still room, but Dusty are putting a lot of work into making sure this is a very quick day, because they're just so crisp. This is a team who are very connected in what they're doing. All of the plays seem to be lined up and happening at the same time. The communication seems to be very clear. And Vanir, on the other hand, it seems like desperation. It seems like they're just trying every opportunity they can to find a fight, to find some way to claw this gold back. Sure, if they kill Venza, you get a lot of gold. He's worth a lot, but they're just committing constantly to try and find him, and it's getting them nothing.
Okay.
Noodle's on a flank here. I'm not so sure that flank's going to work out. I think he's just covering the top side, the bot side, where they've got two members pushing, but they're pushing versus a Rift Herald.
It's the best they could really hope for. Kevo
just
throws out
ulted
the
to-
Moonlight Vigil for Vision,
Yeah.
I suppose. That's a double teleport to the bottom side, by the way. I think they're fighting, actually.
They are fighting underneath that. Tower does go down, and it looks like this is getting pretty scrappy down there. The Needlework going to do a lot of work, but the towers are breaking out. Kevo loses his life once again. Quick step. You're fighting.
Guys,
this is this game.
This game's done.
Wait, is this actually game?
This game is over, Jake.
We're not getting the Dancing Herald. It will die, but they're going to tank the towers to make sure that this is going to be it. They get charge number
It's
one.
gonna live.
We're going to have a Dancing
It's
Herald.
a Dancing Herald.
19 minutes.
6 HP. Minions, don't kill it. Minion, no!
Well, that might have been an anticlimax ending to a very, very one-sided game. Dusty have shown up today as Vanir goes 0-2 to them. It is do or die now for Vanir. Their backs are well and truly to the wall. I'm speechless. I'm speechless at this game.
I don't really know what to say either. This is just Dusty playing better.
Yeah.
Plain and simple across the board.
Do you say lane and simple or plain and simple?
Plain and simple.
But lane and simple also makes sense, because
Lane and simple also.
they are making the laning phase look very simple.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, not to hark on narrative all the time, but we did say Dusty ahead at 15 minutes, 90% win rate.
Yeah.
Not only are they helping this stat, but they're making it look like it should be 100% of the time.
It's probably going up at the moment right
is
now.
going
It's
up.
going up. Well, it's time to feed the capitalist machine. We are going to go to some ads so you can watch those, and we'll be back with the analyst Destiny in a moment.